All right, lads, we have an important announcement to make. I think you're all going to be very interested in this. The flights are booked. We're going to New York. FOMO got the better of me.
Clearly.
So today, Frida, how many days are we out from New York? Today is Monday, June 8th.
How am I supposed to know how many days that is?
It's 98, guys. 98 days out.
Big
14
nerd.
weeks, which means we got some training to do. And today we did our first session. So we're going to have a look inside Ciana's amazing training.
I'm joking. Yeah, it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
I was there for the vibes and I was the camera woman.
Yeah, so all the angles are thanks to Frida. And I'm excited. And you guys are going to follow along and get excited, all right?
Let's go!
Who hasn't started training for New York?
Yeah, come on.
You should panic.
Did you say how many weeks?
14 weeks.
Woo.
Let's go.
That's many weeks to get big and strong.
I know, I'm going to be the fittest I've ever been. That's my plan.
Let's go.
Guys, but in sick content, I want you to meet someone. This is Simon. He's the best little kitty cat ever. And the OGs will know exactly who Simon is. He seems thrilled. You want to go down, buddy? Simon and I are going to talk you guys through our first gym session of this training block and what I'm going to focus on in the next 14 weeks. Okay, so I'm actually going to watch this sick training with you and talk you through some things. Starting the session with the things that we want to be able to give the most energy to. So we're starting the session with our plyometrics. And here we're doing lateral jump into a vertical jump. I also forgot to record my pogo jumps. But anyway, next we're going on to our hang power cleans. So bringing that in after the jump. So we're starting the session with the things that are like building power. So jumping, hang power cleans. So we want to be able to give a lot of energy to it. Actually fun for me because I haven't done hang power cleans in ages. So it's interesting watching myself do it because I notice like, you know, I'm making contact with my legs like too soon and not dipping down enough. So those are things like we're on day one. So we're going to build from here. This is why I actually think it's really interesting to record yourself sometimes. I do it all the time. But because then you can actually see how it looks. How does your technique look? So then we went on to superset Bulgarian split squats with our dumbbell bench. So that single leg strength combined with focusing on the upper body, chest, triceps. And with this, on day one, I'm primarily looking at like setting the benchmark. Like I actually haven't done a proper like long build in a while, probably like before Christmas, because once you get into championship and tournaments, you know, you have to just adapt everything. So you're not really focusing on like strength, really going as heavy as you possibly can. You're focusing on recovering for performance. Then our last superset in this session was our lateral lunges. So again, you'll see, now I don't think everything has to be like sport specific, like all the movements you're doing. You see some crazy things on social media, like people just make stuff up because it looks like the sport you're playing. But we do a lot of lunges, a lot of single leg work because we do actually really need that in our sport. And then we're finishing that superset with our rows. On the supersets, I did 3 sets of each movement and then changed the reps depending on what I was focusing on. But day one, I'm primarily thinking, right, I need to figure out what weight I can lift here because maybe since the last time I've done this movement, I've gotten weaker or stronger. So yeah, a lot of kind of assessing the situation. And then we finished with something to get the heart rate up. I was going to initially do like machine-based cardio, but then I was like, do you know what? Like I've done so many machines or like just running. So I was like, let's just mix it up. These movements still get the heart rate up. We're just not like sitting on a machine. So this worked out to be 30 seconds of work because it was 3 burpees, 6 jumping lunges, and then 9 kettlebell swings. So it's 30 seconds work. So I just did 30 seconds work, 30 seconds rest. I did set myself a little challenge to get less than 30. So I got some sets in like 28. I did 6 rounds of this at the end. This session was about 57 minutes-ish, including my warm-up and my cool-down. And yeah, it was a tough session. This is the day after the session. Legs are actually feeling it, like especially I can tell that I haven't really done those lateral lunges in a while. But I'm excited to build. So I'll have this session in like every week now, especially the next 5 weeks I'm in Sweden. So I'll build on this session. This will be my one of my sessions, so I'll have multiple other sessions in. And what I'm going to do is I've kind of planned out, because we're doing a little bit of like traveling around Sweden over the next few weeks. So we're here for a total of 5 weeks. Like this week, for example, Thursday, we're going up north to see some of Frida's family. And we're going to stay up there for like 5, maybe 7 days. So then I'll have to adapt my training then, because I don't know if I'll have access to the gym. But what I'm going to do is like, okay, I have 3 gym sessions, so I'll just do all 3 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, and then do like my maybe body weight stuff, running, footwork, stuff like that later this week. And then next week I'll do the opposite. So I'll start the week with maybe the stuff that doesn't really require equipment, and then end the week when we come back to Stockholm, like Thursday through Sunday, I can still get all of my gym sessions in. So just like, I guess something that's really important with any training block is thinking ahead, like what is the next 14 weeks going to look like? Because sometimes we just end up going from week to week without really much of a plan. We're just kind of like exercising, playing handball, and we're not actually training for something. So even in the next 14 weeks, there's going to be multiple one-wall competitions once I go back to Ireland in July and August. There's like loads of one-wall competitions. So like I'm baking those in, thinking about, okay, which ones am I doing? Which ones am I maybe tapering my training for slightly? So maybe like the nationals is one where, you know, that week you're not going to like smash yourself as hard as you can. But like maybe if it's a more local tournament, you know, that's just going to be a few games over one day, then, you know, I'm not going to adjust my training to accommodate that. That's just going to be a part of my training. So those are things that, you know, this week I'm really planning everything out. So the goal is in 14 weeks to perform, you know, whereas if there's a competition in like 8 weeks, then that might be more so just part of the training. So yeah, something that I think is really important and gives me a lot of confidence is, you know, planning in advance. And that's something I'll do for like, you know, the championship, for example, for maybe the nationals. But not every tournament requires like, you know, a big build and then like a taper. But you just got to think, what am I actually training for? So for me right now, my training is all gearing towards New York, 14th of September. So I'm excited to really put the head down, especially over the next 5 weeks, and, you know, go back to Ireland after the 5 weeks feeling like good physically. So then I can go on the court, spend more time on the court, and adjust the physical side of things, but, you know, not feel like at that point, okay, now I need to think about getting fit for this tournament. It's like, okay, I feel great. Now I'm adding the handball on top of that. And we're going to take you along. So I hope you're ready to follow the journey of preparing for the One Wall World Championships in New York starting September 14th. Book your flights, hit like, hit subscribe, do your thing. We'll see you in the next one. Simon, you want to say bye? Simon, anything to say for yourself? He's playing hard to get. You want to say bye? All right, guys. Simon says, meow, meow, meow. And he said, hit like and subscribe. Isn't that right? Look at him. Comment, Simon is the best cat ever, please. Oh. This guy just loves pets. He is such a little social kitty cat. Okay, anyways. See you in the next one. Okay, he's here to stay. Good boy.